Hey everybody, here's another Chemistry A review video. Today I want to talk a little bit about significant figures. Now, remember that significant figures are a representation of the precision and the accuracy of the measurements that we take. It's based on a real-world phenomenon, and I'll try and demonstrate that right now. So if I was trying to measure my hand span, the distance between the end of my pinky and the end of my thumb, I could use a number of different devices to do that, right? So I'm gonna grab a measurement device right now. I'm gonna grab this pen, which I know is 12 centimeters long because I measured it beforehand. So this is basically a 12 centimeter marking tool, and I could use this to kind of estimate the hand span that I have. So I'll put it at the tip of my thumb, and I'll look at it and I'll think, well, wait a second, this is my hand is probably less than two of these, but more than one. And so I'm going to guess that it's probably about 20 centimeters because really I can probably be as I can be accurate to the number of tens of centimeters that my hand is across using this tool, but I can't really get much more accurate than that. And so that number, 20 centimeters from that measurement, has one significant figure, which isn't very many because that measurement doesn't have very much accuracy or precision. Now, if I actually used a calibrated measuring device, like if I got a ruler here and I used this to measure my hand span, I would see that my hand span is 21.12 centimeters. 21.12. So that obviously has a much higher rating in terms of precision and accuracy. And so, therefore, that measurement, 21.12 centimeters, has a much higher it has a lot more significant figures. It has four significant figures to represent that it has a lot more accuracy and precision. That's how significant figures is based in something real. It's based in accuracy and precision. Now, what you really want to know is you really want to know, how do I work with significant figures when doing calculations and when doing anything in science? So here's really what you need to know. You need to know the rules, first of all, of how to recognize how much accuracy or how many significant figures a number has. So when you're looking at a number, anything that's not a zero is going to be a significant figure. And the big question is, what do you do with the zeros? I'm going to disappear for a second. So in any number, any zeros that are leading are going to be significant all the time. Leading zeros at the beginning of numbers are always significant. Zeros in the middle of numbers, or we call them sandwich zeros, did I mess that up? Leading zeros are never significant. If I said always, I apologize. Leading zeros are never significant. Sandwich zeros are always significant. And trailing zeros, zeros at the end of numbers, are sometimes significant. They are specifically significant if there's a decimal in the number. And it's important to note that they could be before or after the decimal point, but if there's a decimal, all trailing zeros are significant. Let's do some examples to show that. I'm going to stop for 5 seconds. I'm going to pause and allow you to pause this video and try and identify how many sig figs are in each of these numbers on the screen. All right, here's some answers for you. The first number has six significant figures. Notice that there is a sandwich zero in there, right? Everything else is not a zero, so those are obviously all significant figures, but that zero is a sandwich between other non zero digits, so it's significant. The next number has two significant figures. Just the 5 and the 4 are significant because all these zeros are leading zeros. Keep in mind that leading zeros could be before or after a decimal point, but no matter where they are, if they occur at the beginning of a number before any other non zero digit, they are not significant. Example number three, even though it's a giant number, it only has one significant figure because it's just one real digit followed by a whole bunch of placeholder zeros, we call them, and there's no decimal point. So even though it's a big number, it's not a very accurate or precise number. And that is a common misconception. Big numbers can be not very accurate and precise. Same with very small numbers. Now, what if we did put a decimal and another 0 at the end of that same number, suddenly that number has 10 significant figures because the presence of that decimal point says that none of those zeros are estimates. All of those zeros are known for sure to be zeros, which means that they actually are significant figures. So that decimal makes all of those trailing zeros, the ones before and after the decimal, significant. And then the last example is a combo pack. It's got everything in there. It's got leading zeros that are not significant, sandwich zeros that are significant always, and a trailing zero that, because there's a decimal in the number, is significant. And I apologize if that decimal is cut off on your screen. So that one has 5 sig figs. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a basic overview of the fundamentals of how to recognize significant figures and how to tell how many are there. So in the next video, we'll cover how to do math with significant figures. Until next time,